everyone. So today we're going to be solving equations using addition. But before we get into our solving equations, we need to find out what an equation is. And we do have one vocabulary word, and it's equation. And an equation is a number sentence that says that the expressions on either side of the equal sign represent the same number. So we need to basically just know that an equation has an equal sign. If we go ahead and look at example 1, I'm going to cover up this stuff here on the right. X plus 2, that's just an expression. Now that I put equals 11, it's an equation. So that's really the big difference between expression and equation. All right, so let's go ahead and solve. On the first two examples, well, maybe just the first one example, what we notice about equations is that it's almost easy for us to do it in our heads. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of what number plus 2 equals 11. Well, what number plus 2 does equal 11? Oh, that's right. It's 9. So we know that x is going to equal 9 here. All right, that one, pretty nice. However, if we look at example 2, x plus 5 equals negative 7. So this one's going to be a little bit trickier. One of the ways that we can do this is, because we are using addition or the addition principle, I didn't put principle, but it should be using the addition principle, is by using our additive inverse. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I like to always make a little line right there through my equal sign. That way I can see a definite left side and right side in my equation. Now that I've done that, what I'm going to do is try and isolate this variable. Our goal with solving equations is to get the variable by itself. So to do that, on this point, I need to move my 5. Well, because this is using our addition principle, we're thinking what number can I add to 5 to get rid of it? And we think of a negative 5. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a negative 5 right here to this side. But whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So I'm also going to add a negative 5 to this side. So the x comes down, nothing happens to that. A 5 plus a negative 5 we know is 0, that's gone. Then we have negative 7 plus negative 5. And negative 7 plus negative 5 is going to be a negative 12. If we want to go ahead and check that, we know that negative 12 plus 5 does equal to 7. Therefore, we've solved for our x, and we're done. All right, so if we look at example 3, we have a, that is an a, plus 4 equals 10. Again, I want to put my line right here down the middle of my equal sign, separating my left side from my right side. I notice that my variable a is with the minus 4. Well, what will undo a minus 4 or a negative 4? That's right, a positive 4. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 4 to that side. But because this needs to stay balanced, it's an equation, whatever I do to the left side, I need to do to the right side. So I'm going to add a positive 4 to that side as well. The a, nothing happened to that, so that's going to come down. A negative 4 and a positive 4 is 0. That's gone, so we don't have that anymore. On the right side, we have 10 plus 4, which is going to be 14. Therefore, a is going to be equal to 14. If we went ahead and checked this, 14 minus 4 does equal 10, so we've solved this correctly. Okay, moving on to example 4. We have negative 6.5 equals to y minus 8.4. So two things changed here. One, I notice my variable's on the other side. That's okay. The second thing we notice is that we're dealing with decimals. So guess what? There's going to be a surprise later. But right now, if we look at this, we're just going to solve this the exact same way. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my line right here so I can separate my left side from my right side. I know that I want to get this y by itself, but right now it has a minus 4 with it. Well, what can we do to minus 4 that will make it 0? That's right, or minus 8.4 to make it 0. Add 8.4, the opposite. And whatever I do to one side of the equation, I need to do to the other. So I'm going to add 8.4 to this 6.5 as well. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and oops, sorry about that. Okay, so we've added 8.4 to both sides, and now we have to take this negative 6.5 and a positive 8.4. Now we have to remember our integer rules with decimals. Our larger sign or our larger number is positive, therefore we know our answer is going to be positive. They're different signs, so we're just going to go ahead and subtract those, and we should get 1.9. We're going to bring the y down since nothing happened to that. And a negative 8.4 and a positive 8.4 is 0. So those will cancel out, and we're left with our answer, which is 1.9 is equal to y. We have our last example that I know you guys are super excited about because it's a fraction one. Yay! All right. We're going to solve this the exact same way we've been solving. Again, do not be alarmed that the variable and our constant have been switched. I'm going to go ahead and start by putting my line right there in the middle of my equal sign. I know I want to get this x by itself, so let's see what's with it. A negative 2/3. Well, what's the only thing that will make a negative 2/3 0? That's right, a positive 2/3. So I'm going to add 2/3 to the right side, well, to the left side, and I'm going to add it to the right side as well. On my left side, negative 2/3 and a positive 2/3 is completely gone. It's going to be 0, so we can just cross it out. We're going to bring the x down since nothing happened to that. And on the right side, we have 5/2 plus 2/3. Now remember, this is fraction addition. We're solving equations, but we still need to remember our fraction addition rules. So before we even add this, we have to make like denominators. In this case, it's going to be 6. I'm going to multiply that 5/2, both the numerator and denominator, by 3, so I should get 15/6. And that 2/3, I'm going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 2, so I should get 4/6. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 15/6 plus 4/6 is going to be 19/6. If we want to go ahead and make it a mixed number, we can, but this is where I'm finally going to stress, you know what? There's a reason why we've been working with improper fractions. It's for this point right here. Making it a mixed number or converting it to a mixed number is going to add one additional step, and I just don't want to do that. All right, so now it's time for you to try some on your own. So here's 7 for you guys to try on your own. So take a minute to copy these down, pause the video, and solve them. And then we're going to see how you do. So here are the answers for the you try problems. How did you do on those? One point that I will make is whenever we solve equations, we do want to know what the variable we're working with is valued at. So make sure you're not just writing 7 and negative 13. Make sure you're actually writing the x and the t equals, because our goal with solving equations is to find out what that letter means. So we want to make sure we have the letter at the very end.